Good evening, Raider Nation, and welcome to another electrifying edition of Raiders Report, where we dive deep into the heart of Las Vegas football. I'm your host, bringing you the latest from the silver and black with that unbeatable passion for the game. Now picture this, it's a crisp fall day in Vegas, the lights of the Strip are buzzing, but inside Allegiant Stadium, there's a different kind of electricity brewing.
What if I told you one of the Raiders' key playmakers is still eyeing the exit door? That's right, folks. Wide receiver Jacobe Meyers is making headlines again, and it's got the whole NFL talking. Buckle up, because we're about to break it all down in tonight's top story. Let's start with the bombshell that's shaking up the Raiders' locker room. Just before the season kicked off, Meyers, that reliable slot receiver who's been a steady force in the passing game, put in a formal trade request.
Why?
Well, it all boils down to contract talks that went nowhere. Meyers is in the final year of his deal, and when extension negotiations stalled, he made his feelings crystal clear. He wanted out. But here's the thing, the Raiders said no dice, at least for now. Meyers, being the pro that he is, zipped his lips, hit the field, and focused on football. Fast forward to this week, and during a candid chat with reporters on Tuesday, he didn't hold back when asked if his stance had changed. "Oh, for sure," Meyers admitted with that straightforward vibe he's known for. But he quickly added, "I'm a professional at the end of the day. I'm just trying to play good football. And on the looming trade deadline, I got no control over that. If I'm here, I'm here." Man, that's the kind of honesty that reminds us why we love this sport. Raw emotion mixed with unbreakable grit. Now, let's zoom in on Meyers himself. For those tuning in who might be new to Raider football, Jacobe Meyers isn't just any wideout. He burst onto the scene as an undrafted free agent out of NC State back in 2019 with the New England Patriots, where he honed his skills under the legendary Bill Belichick. Meyers quickly became a go-to guy for quarterbacks like Tom Brady and Mac Jones, racking up consistent yards with his precise route running and sure hands. He signed with the Raiders in 2023 on a 3-year deal, bringing that veteran savvy to a young receiving core. Last season was his breakout year in silver and black, 1,027 receiving yards and 4 touchdowns, including some clutch grabs that had fans on their feet. Remember that game-winning score against the Chargers? Meyers hauled it in with defenders draped all over him, sealing a thriller in overtime. That's the kind of magic he's capable of. But this year, it's been a tougher slog. Through 7 games, Meyers has 29 catches for 329 yards, no touchdowns yet, which is a bit of a head-scratcher for a guy with his talent. Is it the scheme, the quarterback play, or just the overall team struggles? The Raiders sit at a dismal 2-5, folks, and that's not the record we envisioned after last year's playoff push. Our offense has been sputtering, averaging just 18 points per game, down from 24 last season. Meyers isn't alone in the dip. Think about Davante Adams, who's been dealing with nagging injuries, or even our quarterback situation, where we've seen a carousel of starters trying to fill the void left by Derek Carr's departure a couple years back. Carr, by the way, was the heart of this franchise for nearly a decade, leading us through the transition from Oakland to Vegas. Speaking of history, let's not forget the Raiders' roots. Born in Oakland in 1960 as part of the AFL, this team has a legacy of rebellion and toughness. 3 Super Bowl wins, 11, 15, and 18, with icons like Ken Stabler, Marcus Allen, and Howie Long dominating the field. Long, that fearsome defensive end, was part of the '83 squad that crushed Washington 38-9. And who could overlook the rivalries? The Chiefs with their high-flying offense led by Patrick Mahomes. We've split the last 4 meetings, but those games are always fireworks. Then there's the Chargers, our SoFi Stadium foes, and the Broncos, where old grudges die hard. Moving to Las Vegas in 2020 was a game-changer, turning Allegiant into a fortress with its black hole vibe and that massive torch lighting up the desert night. Diving deeper into the analysis, what's really at play here with Meyers? Tactically, the Raiders' offense under head coach Antonio Pierce has leaned heavy on the run game, with guys like Zamir White pounding the rock. But our passing attack? It's ranked 25th in the league, with completion percentage hovering around 62%. Meyers thrives in the intermediate routes, those 10 to 15-yard slants where he can use his quickness to separate. Yet, with protection issues on the offensive line, we've given up 22 sacks already. Our QBs are under duress, leading to hurried throws and missed opportunities. Compare that to Meyers' Patriot days, where he benefited from a more balanced scheme. Statistically, his yards per catch are down from 12.8 last year to 11.3 this season, and his target share has dropped 15% amid the team's woes. Injuries haven't helped either. Our secondary is banged up, forcing more conservative play calling to avoid turnovers. But let's give credit where it's due. Meyers has 0 drops this year, showing his reliability even in a down season. To get more insight, imagine if we caught up with Coach Pierce after practice. In a fictional post-game presser, he might say something like, "Jacobe's a warrior. He's out there battling every snap, and that's what Raider football is about, commitment to the shield. We're evaluating everything as the deadline approaches, but right now, he's a big part of what we're building." Or picture a chat with star edge rusher Max Crosby, the heartbeat of our defense with his league-leading pressures. Crosby could chime in, "Meyers? That dude's got heart. We've all got frustrations this year, but we're family. If he stays, we'll ride with him to turn this around." And from the fans' perspective, Raider Nation is legendary for their passion. I can hear a tailgate regular yelling, "Trade him if he wants out, but only if we get a haul. We need picks to rebuild around Crosby and our young core." Looking ahead, the trade deadline is just around the corner. November 5th, mark your calendars. At 2 to 5, the Raiders are out of playoff contention early, sitting last in the AFC West behind the Chiefs' 6-1 start. This could be the spark to shake things up. Meyers, at 28, is still in his prime and could fetch a mid-round pick, maybe even a conditional third if bundled right. Teams like the Steelers or Bengals, hungry for receiver depth, might come calling. If he stays, it could motivate him to ball out and earn that extension. But implications run deep. Trading Meyers signals a rebuild, potentially affecting morale. On the flip side, keeping him bolsters our weapons for a 2026 push, especially with cap space opening up. Expert opinions? Analysts like those on ESPN are split. Some say deal him for assets, others argue his chemistry with the team is irreplaceable. I predict a trade happens. The Raiders need youth, and Meyers deserves a contender. Tying this to broader vibes, it's like that classic Raiders underdog story. Remember the "just win baby" mantra from Al Davis? That's alive in Vegas, where the team rubbed shoulders with pop culture. Think celebs like Ice Cube or Snoop Dogg repping the silver and black at games. Even in movies, like Any Given Sunday, you feel that Raider intensity. And with current events, as the NFL pushes for more parity, trades like this keep the league exciting. Wrapping this up, Raider fans, this Meyers saga is just another chapter in our storied franchise.